Hello, and welcome to our show For the Love of Animals. We're so glad you joined us today. I'm Darlene Pigford with Angie.
And I'm Greg Bauer, and Wicked is back with us today, too. I want to tell viewers about a couple of upcoming shows.
Okay.
We've got the Christmas show coming up, and also we're trying to put together some shows on cat behavior.
Ooh, hear that, Angie? Yeah, you be on your good behavior.
So anyway, what do we have today, Darlene?
Well, we have a new addition to Paducah, Greg, that the community is very proud of. We have our dog park.
Ah.
So why don't you introduce the people that are in charge of this new venture?
Sitting to Darlene's right there is Aimee Clark, who's the recreation superintendent for the Paducah Park Services, and next to her is Mark Thompson, who is the director of the Paducah Park Services. And we'd like to thank you both so much for coming by today to tell us about the dog park and educate our viewers. And so
glad to be here.
Yeah. Well, first, do either of you have a fur family?
Yes, I do. I have a half Basset, half Lab. Actually, she loves the wife more than she loves me.
Oh.
But she's a sweetheart of a dog, about 10 years old. Her name is Lacey.
Oh,
okay.
Well, that's great. So everybody should have a fur family, or either a foster fur family somewhere, or either the love of them.
There you go.
Okay. Well, let's start off. Tell us where and what this dog park is all about.
Well, the dog park. The dog park was an idea that came about actually some years ago with our park master plan. It was mentioned back there, and it wasn't in big print, but it was in small print back then, and that started out in about 2001 and 2002. But there became quite an active voice about 4 years ago, and then fundraising sloughed off for a little bit. But then there was an incident a couple of years ago where a gentleman lost his dog. He stopped by a local restaurant establishment, and somebody took his dog out of the back of his truck. And so there was a reward offered.
I remember that, yes.
And his name was Ricky Volner, and his wife had passed away, and he had her dog, and he was quite fond of it. She certainly was, and evidently it had some stud value too.
Oh dear.
And so what happened was he offered a reward, and what happened to be one of our park rangers found it while he was on the job.
Oh, okay.
And so Mr. Volner donated $5,000 to the dog park. And that really kicked it off again. And Commissioner Gail Kaler became quite active in the fundraising portion of it and got a good group together, and at that point raised the $20,000, and the city matched that.
Okay.
So it was the matching efforts between the community and the citizens.
Absolutely. We had over 85 people donate something to that dog park.
And we are so proud of the small donors and the big ones also. So.
And incidentally, the dog was found in Stuart Nelson Park, which is the location of the dog park.
Oh, how neat.
So
how neat.
It kind of came around full circle.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Well, anyway, we have one. Where is it located for our community viewers here in Paducah?
Well, it's in Stuart Nelson Park, which is off of Stuart Nelson Park Road, which is actually off of Park Avenue, right by the Hyundai dealer.
By the Hyundai
dealer. So if people drive by there all the time and miss it, I'm sure. But if they turn before they get to the Hyundai dealer, they'll end up in Stuart Nelson Park.
Are we going to put up a sign maybe in the future?
There actually is. There are signs on both sides of the road that say Stuart Nelson Park this way.
Okay, so, but that's where the dog park is, right?
It is. When you pull into the park, the dog park is on your right.
Okay. And how many acres do we have in the park?
I think it's just under 7.
The dog park itself is is a little bit under 7 acres. The whole park is about 55 acres. So there are other activities there in the park, and it's just off the right on the main entrance.
Okay. And I understand now it's divided kind of into 3 areas.
Well, it's 2 primary areas, the big dog side and the small dog side.
Okay.
Each of those areas also has a little caged entryway, so you can have the dogs adapt, and it's about a 10-foot square cage that you get in with the dog. They can adapt and adjust as they get to know the other dogs roaming around into the park, and then you open it up and then let them roam along with it. So, and we have each of those areas, the small dog side and the large dog side each have those.
Oh, I remember the caption I saw about the which way do I go? It was the dog. So how do you determine what's the dividing line for small and large?
30 pounds.
All right, 30 pounds, okay. So Wicket, you would go in the small part because I believe you were about, what, 12?
12, 14,
12,
somewhere
14
around there.
pounds, okay.
And it's really up to the owners to, you know, to determine that, because you'll find some small dogs who have been used to running with large dogs, and they don't necessarily feel, at least mentally, that they fit in with the smaller dogs. We don't push it. You know, we don't determine, you know, if they feel like it's all guideline when it comes to that. And the owners have to use their judgment.
Well, that's excellent. But what is the distinction between the two large? Like 50 pounds or 60 or?
Well, there are only two sides. It's small dog and large dog. So it's typically over 30 pounds is the large dog, under 30 pounds
it's just
is the guideline for the small dog side.
Okay.
We had mentioned the number of donors that you had, and you said over 85 of them. We also have a graphic of the ones who have done the most, if you will. And we'd like our viewers to take a look at that up on the screen now. It's divided bronze, silver, gold, and blue ribbon. And if you would like to get your name on that list, I know
they'd be glad to have
Department would be loving to have that.
Well, there's always maintenance issues with any facility we have, and this will help us maintain the park to the level that we want.
Well, that brings up a question then. How will the park be maintained? I assume it has to be budgeted in for that. Is the city going to do that, or?
Right. It is under the Parks Department's budget, in our maintenance budget. And we have budgeted for our mutt mitts, which everybody can use to pick up their waste.
Leavings.
Their leavings.
Their leavings.
Their gifts.
And and everybody has been using that. We're really proud of the way people are using that publicly. And then so we clean out those garbage cans every day.
Oh, really?
Every day we go by and pick up the garbage cans that people have dropped those in.
And how about those water fountains? Because I know water fountains get clogged.
Well, they do, but that's all part of what we have planned.
Right.
And we have some folks out there right now who are actually looking at different ways of handling the splashing of the water.
Yes.
And so we're going to make little improvements as we go, and maybe a few more benches under trees and some things like that people have requested. And we're taking that one at a time as they come through.
Well, and you have shelters, as I understand.
Absolutely. There are two large 20 by 20 shelters. There's one in each side of the small dog park and the large dog park. There's one on each. And they're covered, and they have just become a gathering spot for a lot of social activity.
I can only imagine.
Non-furry social activity.
Oh, I'm sure. Well,
I think folks have, there's a lot of people who have established their time that they go to the dog park, and they've met a whole new bunch of friends.
I think that's great. You were mentioning small dog. I think Wicket is one of those small dogs that have the mentality for the big dogs, because when we walk him on a leash, there isn't any dog that he doesn't think he can take on. You know,
exactly.
He has that large dog mentality there. So
well, we're just beginning to really get started here, but we want to take a quick break right now and listen to a happy tale.
All right.
This one is about Beauty, a white pit bull, and I think you'll find it very interesting. So give a listen.
Recently, a lady found a white pit bull in her subdivision. She at first thought the dog was lost, so she posted the dog's picture on her Facebook page hoping to find the owner. She then gave the dog the name of Beauty. She noticed the dog's eyesight wasn't too good, and after several days of keeping her, she decided to contact animal control to pick her up. They did, and while she was at the shelter, Beauty got 2 detached retinas, leaving her blind. Fortunately, a beautiful family decided to give her a chance at a forever home. Now Beauty has her own little girl, Amanda, to love. Beauty's favorite companion is a duck. She sleeps with her every night.
Welcome back. We hope that you enjoy that little happy tale, and it's just a wonderful thing that Beauty had done, and it's interesting because her favorite friend is a duck.
That is interesting. And speaking of eyesight, that's one of Angie is our little handicap, and she must have been in an accident because she lost an eye and a leg. But let me tell you something, it does not,
It doesn't slow her down.
It does not slow her down. And she keeps Wicked in check, too.
How can our viewers get more information, Aimee, about the dog park?
Well, we do have information on the website, which is the city's website. It's paducahky.gov.
Okay.
And we have lots of information on the dog park there under the Parks Department. They can find out information about the sponsorships if they would like to be a sponsor or donate. We offer a list of rules there. They're also posted at the park. And just general information about the dog park itself is listed on the website.
I visited your site and I found it to be very informative, and I enjoyed all the pictures too.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, as we continue about our discussion of Paducah, Kentucky's new dog park for our viewers out there, let's talk about the rules that you guys have in the park. I understand there are 17 or 19 or so many rules.
Yeah, a lot of it is really just basic common courtesy. There is a leash law in the city of Paducah, and so the dogs must be leashed until they get into the park facility. And then we also ask owners to keep their leashes on hand in case they come across a dog that's a little unruly. They can go ahead and leash their dog and get them out of the area. So we do ask them to keep those on hand. We ask them to pick up after their pets with using the mitts that we provide at the entrances of both parks. We ask them to not bring in any dogs that are aggressive or any female dogs that might be in heat.
Oh, that's an excellent group.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of rules like that. They're not allowed to bring any food in unless it's just like dog treats. They can bring that in, but no food, no human food or water or drink.
Those are the main ones. It's mostly courtesy.
Right. Yeah. But now I can't bring in any water for myself.
You can bring in water, but you can't bring in like Coke.
Or
other. Or a chicken sandwich.
Right.
Because we've, you know,
I understand.
I know if my dog were in there and there's a chicken sandwich up on the picnic table, I think the chicken sandwich would be gone.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. There might be a fight among some animals for a chicken sandwich.
That's right. And you also have to, about picking up your, you know, we do provide mutt mitts. Mutt mitts are a plastic specific bag that is used to pick up the waste. And the whole process, and those are actually made here in Kentucky. And so it's a Kentucky business, and they make it. It's a nice cover on your hand, so you can pick things up cleanly.
And we also ask people to, like, we know dogs like to dig.
Right.
So one of the rules is to please fill in holes that your dog may dig, just to help us maintain the grounds and keep things.
So I have to bring my own shovel?
No, just kind of filling in.
And of course, the dog is not allowed to bring in bones either, are they?
Right.
No. It would just be treats, regular treats, or anything else like that. We don't need anything that they might start a fight over.
How about dog toys?
They can. A lot of people bring tennis balls and things that dogs who do chase and things like that, they can bring their own. But we ask them not to leave them because we can just get cluttered if we don't do that. Same with the bowls that people bring for watering. Sometimes they've forgotten them and left them there. And I understand that, but we ask them to go ahead. Anything you bring in, it's kind of like our Greenway Trail and other parks. We try to leave no trace. If you bring it in, if it bring it in, take it back out with you.
Okay. Speaking of toys, Wicked will fight you over his squeaky toys, so I don't. You don't want the dogs fighting over their favorite toys either.
You don't.
So, yeah, here it is. There it is. Yeah.
Now, as far as the park goes, then you have a chain link fence around everything, and they're separated, of course. How high? Just a curiosity, how high is the chain link fence?
The chain link is 4 feet high.
4 feet high. Okay.
4 feet high. And I said we do have 2 areas that are entryways that are enclosed themselves.
Right.
And so it really makes things easier if there is an aggressive dog or something happens. We find out that one you know, an owner may not know dogs in heat or something, that
Right.
we can corral these dogs and separate them, and then people can easily take them home. One of the other courtesy items that we always talk about, and it's particularly deals with the corrals and getting dogs in and out, is just like when you're if you've been out on a farm. If you go, if the gate's closed, when you go through it, make sure you close the gates.
Close the gate, yes.
Close the gates in, close the gates out, and always do that. It's common courtesy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and adding to that, I think another common courtesy, let's suppose I'm at the park and I'm walking and then I see something, and I as a dog owner will go get a mitt and I will pick it up and put it in the trash for you because I don't want to step into it.
True, true. And there's some people, you know, people are down at the under a shelter or something, they may not actually even see their dog. And most of them, I would say 99.9% of the people don't mind being reminded that their dog may have dropped something.
Yeah, right. And as you said, that it's a social structure underneath those shelters.
Yes, it is.
So you might not know your dog went.
That's right.
But if it got to be too much of a problem and I had to do it every time I was there, who could I call and say, hey, there's a problem out here?
Well, you can call our parks office.
Okay.
If there's an issue like that.
Or a real serious something.
If there's a serious incident going on anywhere in any of our parks, call 911.
Absolutely.
But if there's something that we might be able to take care of by establishing rule or asking our park rangers to come by and take a visit, something like that, we'll do that. You know, and I don't want this, we used a fairly strict rule when we developed our skate park. We are not going to allow any vandalism. If it is, we're going to close it.
Right.
And until things can be handled and straightened out. If people just stopped picking up, nobody wants to come. So we'd close it until we got some observers or something to take care of that. This is an honor system, and and everybody's really working towards that end, and we don't want to have to establish any more stricter rules.
Well, pet people are wonderful people.
They are. They
Dog,
really
dog and cat people.
are. Exactly.
Well, and most people, I think, kind of help police it too.
Exactly.
All right, but if I wanted to call and give you a compliment, what telephone number would I use?
You can reach the parks office at 444-8508.
Okay, and that's the 270.
Yes, 270.
Okay, and do you have any other method of communication for the Parks Department?
We also receive emails.
Okay.
Our email is parkinfo@paducahky.gov.
Okay.
And that's just a general inbox.
Right.
And that's checked on a regular basis. So.
And the city does have a Facebook page.
That's right.
So if you've got Facebook, Twitter, we have both of those, and people can leave us notes on those too.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I'm sure that will be, hopefully viewers out there, lots and lots of compliments, okay?
And we've received them. It's been
wonderful.
one of our most
Successful
startup and complimented programs.
Well, and I think the other thing that helps with it is that you have a number of donors who contributed, so a lot of people have a stake in seeing that it's successful.
They've developed an ownership, that's for certain.
Yeah. Well, we need to take a short break now.
Time just flies. Is it already time for?
Tell you.
Oh, goodness.
To give a listen to another happy tale.
Okay.
And this is one of the more unusual names I've heard, Octoby.
Okay.
I think I figured out where the name came from, but see if you viewers can figure out what I did. Give a listen.
In March of 2011, we got a black Cocker Spaniel from Christy Bell. She had rescued him from the Humane Society. He was in pretty bad shape, so she took him to the vet and to Michelle Fowler, who groomed him up. After many visits to the vet for weekly shots to treat him for a skin condition and an eye infection, he slowly started to come around. We went to visit with him and fell in love. We went and picked him up from Christy and then took him home. The first night, he slept all night and even into the next day. Since March, we have loved and cherished him every day. He's not the same puppy. He's now a vibrant 3-year-old dog who loves to jump and play and give lots of love. He now has a brother, Pugsy, and a sister, Snickers, who he enjoys spending the day with. He's a huge light and love to us. We've really bonded with him, and he loves to go for rides with us in the truck. We are so thankful for the chance to raise this sweet fur baby. He gets a second chance at life now. Thank you, Christy Bell.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that show, and I'll let you think about, did you figure out where the name of that?
We'll give you to October, okay?
So,
Okay.
Anyway, the two happy tales we had today were compliments of Lourdes Spencer, who is, with her son Eric, have published a newsletter that's
Right.
being distributed throughout the community.
Right.
And the name of the newsletter is what, Darlene?
Pause for a clause, and it looks like this. And I tell you, you better get them fast because they go, at Hannon Plaza here in Paducah, Kentucky, they go really fast. But our thanks to these two volunteers who are putting out this newsletter to help shelter and stray animals find homes. And we want to thank them for the two happy tales about these two dogs, which is appropriate for our dog park show, don't you think, Greg?
Absolutely, absolutely. And they also have interesting little articles in there of tips for pet owners and that sort of thing. So it's
Very
and
interesting.
It's a free publication
Yes,
just
it
for
is.
picking it up. So
And it comes out every 2 weeks, and you'll find it at your local grocer, the doctor, and the major shopping centers. So,
we also want to tell our viewers that we have now arrived.
what's that, Greg?
Our show now is on YouTube.
Oh, that's right, Angie, you're on
And
YouTube.
if you go to, of course, you know our website, www.paducah2.org/video clips/animals, which is the college website.
Right.
But it is also now at www.youtube.com, and do a search on For the Love of Animals.
Paducah.
Paducah.
And you
That's
spell Paducah, Paducah.
Right. And we are also on Facebook now.
Oh, that's right.
And all you have to do is go to Facebook and search for Paducah 2, and you'll find a number of our shows on there also. So
And actually, Greg, there are two great shows there about dog training and dog behavior,
right.
done by
one of our local people,
one
Sally
of our-
Moore.
It's just a wonderful show. So you might want to take a look at those before you go to the dog park, because she gives a lot of wonderful suggestions.
All right.
How's that for a TV plug, Greg?
Okay. Well, that's great. We'd like to welcome our viewers back to Mark Thompson and Aimee Clark from the Paducah Park Service, who we're talking about the Paducah Dog Park today.
Which
And,
we are very proud of.
Yes.
So. Tell us a little bit about this bone business. What's that all about?
Well, that just provides people the opportunity to have a memorial for a pet that they may lost, or in honor of somebody that was a dog lover. They can buy these dog bones that we hang on the fence, with an engraving of whatever they want to put on there. We've had people purchase them for lost pets. We've had people purchase them for just favorite pets that they have. We've also had them purchased in memory of people who have passed who were pet lovers.
Pet lovers.
So it's kind of just a very inexpensive way for people to take part in providing this dog park for the community.
What is the cost of one of those?
They're $40.
$40.
And what does one look like?
They are in the shape of a dog bone.
How big are they?
They're about 3 inches by 2 inches.
Okay, all right.
Okay. And in fact, I think there's a picture of
yes.
up on the screen at this point.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
they hang on the fence next to the entrances as you walk in.
And about how many characters do you think they could?
There's probably as many as 50 or 60 on some of them.
Okay.
So they can get up to about 4 or 5 lines.
4 or 5 lines, right?
And on the form, there's a space for people to put in what they like on there, and it's got digits on it, so they can use all the digits that are available.
And any extra money goes to support the dog park.
Right.
Okay, so it actually goes to the dog actual.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a continual fundraiser.
That's correct.
Well, now, Angie, this is your time to speak up. We have quite a herd of kitties at home that Wicket lives with.
10 of them.
And 10 of them. And they got together, they decided that Mr. Wicket ought to be on your fence. I didn't fill out your form, but I did write a check, and I made it out to Paducah Dog Park. Is that?
That's fine.
Okay, and we want it just for Wicket, for the love of animals. And I guess, Greg, I should put Paducah, I should put maybe his website, or I'll let you know after the show. But Wicket, you are now going to be honored, okay? You're going to be up there on that fence, okay? If I were a viewer and I wanted to do this, where do I get my form, and what do I send in to you?
Okay, the forms are available on the website. They can actually go to the dog park page and print off the form. And then they just fill it out and mail it in with their $40 check.
All right, but I'm sitting at home and I don't have internet.
Okay.
What could I do?
You could call the office and we will fill out a form for you.
Oh, now if that's not, sir, they'll take you.
That is, sir, that's wonderful service.
And if I wanted to call it and then mail you a check, where would I mail the check to?
Our address is 1400 HC Mathis Drive.
Okay.
Or we have a P.O. Box. 7265.
7265. Paducah, Kentucky, what?
It's 01
42001.
Yes.
At the office. The 1400 HC Mathis is 42001.
Okay.
The post office is 42002.
Yes. Okay. All right. We don't want to lose those checks in the mail.
No.
But anyway, so we would invite our viewers to honor the memory of a dog, or in Thanksgiving of one that is alive, or maybe people who've done great things for the pets in this area.
Right.
Exactly.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
We would even take a cat.
Well, I was going to wonder.
In honor of a cat. We would take it in honor of a cat.
Well, Angie says, well, when she has her kitty corner, she'll probably do that.
There you go.
Okay. Well,
it's getting awfully close to having to close down, unfortunately, because we're just getting going in good shape. But we'd like to ask, what one point would you like our viewers to remember about our show today and about the dog park?
About Paducah, Kentucky's dog park.
Well, it's open to all, and you don't necessarily even have to be a resident inside the city limits to come and use it.
Okay.
We want to encourage everybody to come by. I know the mayor even brought his grand dog in from Nashville, was into the dog park one day.
Okay.
And it's open to all, and it's just, remember, be courteous, think of others when you're using the dog park, and it'll be there for years to come, and I hope you enjoy it.
I think those are wonderful suggestions, Mark, and we'd like to thank you and Aimee both for coming down and sharing all this good information with us today. It's been a whole lot of fun and a real eye-opening experience, I think, for our viewers if they didn't know that about the dog park. But hopefully all of our viewers have been there already.
And if you don't have a dog, you can go out there and listen, pet people are the easiest friends to make.
Exactly.
So if you just want to go out and see it, you can do that. But remember, the dogs are on a leash up to the time they get there, and no food or drink except water, right? Okay.
And one thing we have not touched on is the time that it's open.
I thought about that. Tell us.
It's open at 6 in the morning.
Okay.
To 9 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Okay.
And eventually there will be lights?
There are some perimeter lighting just on the roadway.
Okay.
At this point, we don't know if there's going to be lights, but as winter comes, it may be a little closer to dark, but it'll be up to it's up to the owner.
Almost kind of like sunrise to sunset.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we are certainly proud of Paducah, Kentucky's new dog park, as we are proud of Paducah, Kentucky, right?
In closing,
Darlene,
I'm Darlene.
No, I'm saying to you, Darlene.
Okay.
I'm Greg, and
I'm Darlene.
And we want to tell our viewers again what we tell you every time. Please remember, give your pet a little extra love today
and every day.
See you next time.
Take the dog to the dog park. Bye.